Hello, my name's Jack, also known as VirtualTourism on socials. In this video, we'll be running over some of the basics of virtual photography using in-game photo modes. The rule of thirds is a versatile guide that can be adapted to various photographic styles. First, imagine breaking your image into thirds both horizontally and vertically, creating a grid with 9 equal parts like the one you see on screen here. Use these lines to draw the viewer's attention to things that you would like to highlight. For example, let's place our boat along one of the horizontal lines rather than at the center of the screen. This will help create a more visually pleasing image. You can position important elements of your composition along any of these lines, but be sure to distribute them evenly. Avoid placing everything in the center of the grid. With a few final tweaks, our shot is ready to share. Framing involves using elements from within your scene to create a visual frame around your main subject, enhancing the composition's depth and guiding the viewer's focus. Frames can be anything from archways to caves, windows to doorways, even foliage can be used to frame your subject. While you play around with your composition, be sure to experiment with different perspectives to try and find the most effective frame for your subject. While experimenting, be mindful of distracting elements within the frame and the rest of the image, like these rocks on the ground for example. We don't want them to detract from your subject. We'll use the depth of field feature to help with this. By incorporating framing techniques, you not only emphasize the subject, but it's also a way to guide the viewer's eyes and tell the story you want from within your photo. Leading lines is another technique that we can use to guide the viewer's attention towards our chosen focal point. These lines can be straight or curved and can be found in a variety of settings. For this example, let's use these road lines, but be on the lookout for elements like paths, road lines, or shorelines, all of which can be found in the Crew Motorfest's environments. Play around with features like the time of day and weather conditions, and experiment with different perspectives. You can use the zoom in, zoom out feature to really help you nail the composition. Crew Motorfest photo mode is rich with features, so be sure to explore, experiment, and really take advantage of them. Like our previous examples, incorporating leading lines can enhance the overall look of your shot. In simple terms, depth of field, sometimes shortened to DOF, refers to how blurry or how sharp parts of your images can be from foreground to background. This feature can vary from photo mode to photo mode, but all are easy to use. Controlling the amount of the photo that is in focus is one of your best tools. It will help you guide the viewer's eyes exactly where you want, and can be used with our previous tips for great results. The balance between our virtual camera and the subject can affect the depth of field. Closer subjects generally have a more pronounced background blur, but a well-managed composition considers the placement of foreground and background elements. Understanding and experimenting with the depth of field will allow you to use it as a powerful tool for virtual photography. It helps emphasize our subjects by creating a sense of depth or separation between the foreground and background, just like we've done with our trusty companion Sanu. Action photography involves capturing fast-paced and dynamic scenes, typically featuring subjects in motion. We'll be trying to capture some combat in Watch Dogs Legion. The game's fight clubs are perfect practice for this type of shot, but you can find great opportunities all over London. Start off by getting to know your subject's movements, anticipating their next move, and knowing the subject's behaviour will go a long way in capturing this type of style. It can significantly improve your chances of capturing that perfect action shot, and will really help you nail the timing on when you'll need to open the photo mode. Remember, composition is still important. Consider your framing, background elements, and the overall story you're trying to convey. Move the camera around and try different angles to help you perfect the shot. Once you have it, experiment with the depth of field and in-game filters to help you take it to that next level. Portrait photography focuses on capturing the personality and the mood of an individual or even groups of people. Pay attention to the background and be sure it complements the subject without taking any attention away. Framing and the use of depth of field can help highlight the subject and help draw attention to them. Lighting is a key element in portrait photography. In Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I tend to use the torchlight to highlight my subject, but you can also use sunlight and the shadows it produces to bring your subject to life. The direction, intensity, and quality of light really contribute to the overall mood of the shot. Your goal is to convey the qualities of your subjects. Let them shine and have fun capturing your favorite characters. Now to one of my favorite styles to capture. Minimalism in photography is a style that focuses on simplicity, emphasizing the use of a minimal number of elements within the frame. Photos often feature a clean and uncluttered composition. We want to remove any unnecessary details and distractions, leaving only essential elements that contribute to the overall aesthetic. A huge part of minimalism is negative space, the area in the photograph not occupied by the main subject. This space helps immediately draw attention to the subject, allowing them to stand out against a simple background. It can also add a sense of isolation if needed. We don't want to oversaturate our image either. Some color is fine, but for now, let's try to stick with some muted tones. When it comes to minimalism, less truly is more. Landscape photography focuses on capturing images of the natural environment. This can include vast landscapes, mountains, forests and rivers, all of which can be found within Far Cry 5's open world. How I like to capture landscapes is to naturally stumble upon the scene while exploring the game. But for this example, I'll be revisiting one of my favourite locations. With Far Cry 5's photo mode, we can also use the time of day tool to alter the look of the image. As you can see, it drastically changes the shot and is one of my favourite tools to use. Like any other type of photography, composition is crucial. Pay attention to any leading lines, like the fence in the foreground here, framing opportunities, and always have the rule of thirds in the back of your mind to help create your shot. Depth of field is also an important tool we can use here, working with the other techniques to help shift the focus to our subject. You can create layering in your image by having only a part of the photo in focus. If you have some foreground objects out of focus, the fields and the fence in this example, they will give your image a sense of depth. Overall, landscape photography is a combination of artistic vision and a deep appreciation of the world we're exploring. It allows us to share the beauty of these virtual worlds with others in our own unique ways.